Hi, so why people don't like cold callers? Cold calling is about connecting with human beings, and it's wise to learn, therefore, how to connect on a human-to-human level with all the empathy and the intelligence that we have as humans. If you don't apply yourself in this way, you'll only be ever playing what I would call a numbers game, where you're not then carrying out the tasks of a real salesperson, but more those of an outbound order taker. Now, an order taker makes lots of calls simply in the hope that they'll find someone who has been looking for precisely what you were selling, whereas a sales caller's role is to gauge the prospect's interest, build rapport with them, and then sell the value of their offering. Unfortunately, too many organizations just don't invest adequately in training for their salespeople, and so their recruits tend to behave much more like the order takers. As the order takers are reaching wider audiences because they're getting through a lot more of them, they're also tarnishing the reputation of genuine professional sales cold callers. So I put together here 5 things that the inadequately trained salespeople are doing to put the marketplace off genuine cold callers. My number 1 is false or misleading introductions. Now, those order taker type callers would generally feel that they have to go undercover or threaten you with being at risk, or even give you false information about having qualified for something. For example, I'm calling you to tell you your IT system is currently unsafe. Or, I'm calling you about your recent request for information. What request? Or, you have qualified for cheaper bills. When most recipients hear any of these, you're thinking what I'm thinking, right? They're thinking, what on earth are you talking about? This is obviously a sales call. Then that call is going to be treated like a sales call, you know, in the typical way that negativity is triggered in the recipient, and they're going to switch off. So that's my number 1. Number 2, monotonous and abrupt. The words used is one thing, but it's also important to deliver those words with a human element. Salespeople who fear making cold calls are generally expecting to be rejected in some way. So they're usually pumped up and ready to shoot with no pain. They're just really trying to protect themselves by removing the emotion out of the call. Unfortunately, by doing that, it also means that they come across somewhat abrupt, and so can't really connect or engage with the person on the other end. No rapport, no sale. A prospect at this point is probably thinking this person is just trying to railroad me down, must be a sales call. And again, you're just going to get that same response from the recipient. Okay, my number 3, not getting to the point. It amazes me how many ineffective cold callers open up their pitch with, "Hi, my name is, I'm calling from, how are you today?" Whoever told cold callers that this question is perfectly appropriate at this point does not quite understand the marketplace. Prospects will not respond well to such a personal question from a stranger that they didn't invite. A prospect's first thought at this point, at least mine, would be, "Why are you calling? Get to the point." They're not thinking small talk. So for the salesperson, this is a time filler, yet for the prospects, it's a real time waster, so cut out the question. Number 4, not answering or acknowledging. Some cold callers actually do avoid answering questions because they tend to categorize almost anything that a prospect says as an objection. And ineffectively trained cold callers will have been told to ignore the objection and move on. Now, let me tell you, when that happens, a prospect is simply thinking, you just ignored my question, and so I've got no interest in what you have to say. So you're never going to build a rapport with them if you ignore what they say. And finally, they don't follow up. Sometimes a recipient is genuinely interested and they ask for information to follow up, but the caller doesn't always have that facility. So they just say, yes, okay, when they really should be saying, "Okay, I'm sorry, I don't really have the facility to be able to email you because my role is to secure customers on the phone. So if it's okay with you, I can call you back once you've had a look at the figures and we can sort it out then. When shall I call you back?" Any prospect would probably respect that more than the caller just saying, "Yes, okay," and then not receiving an email that they're expecting to receive. There's just too many suppliers out there for any salesperson to lapse in follow-ups. So that's my 5, okay? Now, I am adamant that you can't blame a salesperson for bad cold calling. The real reason these things happen is because of bad training interventions carried out by people who perhaps don't understand the marketplace, or they could be old and outdated training interventions. If you are a salesperson watching this, then I hope it's really helped you. If you're a trainer or a manager, then please feel free to share this video with your delegates or your teams. Let's make cold calling great again. Take care, stay safe, speak soon.